Okay, so I am still on the fake website here, and here I am on Kali. So for the sake of demonstration, I have told you that I have indeed made a file. So var www html cat index.html. So I've just manually made a copy here of the website, and I've placed the header fake site so that we know that we're actually accessing the fake website. In some of the instructional videos out there on the net, you will find that people are using set toolkit, and I have used it before. However, I don't know. There are some problems with it when cloning websites. There can be a lot of problems with it. It can be still used though. I have used it, but I personally have encountered problems, so I thought to myself, let's not use it for this course because I don't want you encountering the same problems. Rather, instead, I'm going to go ahead and create a separate short chapter on how to clone websites. So for this demo, I'm just using this simple thing as a demo, but in a separate chapter, I will simply show you how you can clone sites of any complexity, although the greater the complexity of the site, the longer will the cloning process take. Anyway, that's going to be a separate video. For the time being, let us see how the credentials can be harvested. So first off, this index file is here. That's fine. So with the set toolkit, you can actually just monitor a file, and then you're eventually going to get a username and a password, which is I I wouldn't rely on it that much, not now. Rather, instead, I prefer to rely on Wireshark. So I have a perfectly viable network sniffer. Okay, if you get this error, that's fine. No problems. Just click on OK. This can sniff any network traffic out there, and since the connections are being made over HTTP on port 80 unencrypted, I'm practically guaranteed to actually capture that username and password. So just open up Wireshark and then begin capturing. So I'm just going to go ahead and configure my filters prior to the beginning of the capture process. So the first thing I need to do is type in IP dot addr equals to 192.168 dot 122.231, which is the IP address of this machine of Kali. So that's where the web server is running. And then I would like another IP address. So IP addr equals. So this will be my victim machine IP address. 1042.0. So 10.42.0 and 183.183. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these two filters, press enter, and then I'm going to select interface any, and I shall begin the capture process. That it's clear that there's nothing here now, that's fine because we have applied some very, very specific filters. Okay, so let's go back to the victim machine and let's go ahead and type in test and test 1, 2, 3. Submit. And okay, so we're getting something here. And there you go. So I've placed the username and the password in the GET request so that it's a lot simpler for you to see it here. But usually you would look for something like application data or something similar to that and just dig and find. So usually you will be able to see it here. So this is a GET request, and the information is literally exposed up and in the air. So you can see everything here, full request, and then the username test and password test 1, 2, 3. Okay, granted, this is a pretty dumb login. It doesn't lead anywhere. You just generate a GET request, which is kind of stupid. But let me go ahead and show you how would an encrypted version of this actually look like. You wouldn't be able to make heads or tails or do anything with it. Instead of waiting for something to happen, let me just go over to google.com maybe, or something like that. Just request anything that's HTTPS. And I saw one. Yep, TSL version 1.2 application data. So let's just double click on it and you'll get this. So this is where the data is supposed to be. Application data encrypted. Say goodbye to anything that's in there. You won't be able to see it. And when it's in the HTTP form, to which we have basically forced it with our DNS, you can see whatever it is that you want. Just keep digging through these packets. You're obviously not looking for IPX or DHC or whatever. You're looking for HTTP requests on port 80. And you're most likely either looking for some sort of a GET request or for application data. Once you click on application data, you can double click on it to expand this, and where it says secure socket layer, you're gonna see you're not gonna have secure socket layer, you're gonna have HTTP or something like that here. And when you click on this, you just click on application data and then you read, quite literally, without bigger problems. And you can get the passwords for anything really, as long as this redirect occurs to your own web server, which is on port 80. So you can find the passwords here in Wireshark. You can go looking. This is basically a bulletproof way of doing it. You can use set toolkit. It's a lot simpler than digging manually in Wireshark, but it doesn't always work. From what I've discovered, it's a really good tool. Credits to the creators, but it's kind of buggy. It doesn't always work out. So I'll show you a really nice way of cloning a website as well. Anyway, so what have we learned thus far? You start basically just start a web server, so let me just go ahead and do this test and insert. So what have we learned thus far? We have an HTTPS website, and with our DNS proxy, basically, and our honeypot, where we allow people to connect, we have managed to redirect traffic to HTTP site, which looks exactly the same as the HTTPS site. Fortunately for us, this website didn't have HSTS, which is really bad. And I will show you how this can be done with HSTS as well, if I manage to squeeze it in as well. But the point being is that we have successfully managed to force people to go from HTTPS to HTTP. What did we need for that? Well, we needed DNS Chef, we needed Apache 2, and one of the last things that we didn't do was site cloning itself, but that will be a separate tutorial. That will be a separate set of tutorials in and of themselves. It's a rather simple process. And we have used Wireshark in order to monitor the traffic on the network, in order to grab, and then we took a look at the traffic in Wireshark and we managed to extract the relevant information in an unencrypted format, which would usually be encrypted. Anyway, gonna bid you farewell here, and we shall see each other in the follow-up, where either the site cloning will go or HSTS, which is kind of difficult.